Hi, hello. So welcome to another little mini lesson on transformation. So this is going to be the 7th lesson in Unit 2. Alright, so during this lesson we're going to learn how to apply transformations to quadratics using A, H, and K values. That's the key, A, H, and K. Alright, so our transformations. We're going to look at vertical transformations. That's when things are shifted up or down. So I'm just going to be like moving every point up and down. Horizontal translations, when the graph is shifted left or right. We're going to talk about vertical stretches or shrinks. So it's if I, essentially if I grab like the bottom of the graph and the top of it and I stretch it like some Laffy Taffy, and just stretch it out and makes it skinnier. Or shrinks, or if I take that top and bottom and I have it in between my hands and I push it down and it kind of squeezes out the sides, that would be my shrink. Horizontal stretch or shrinks is that's kind of my side left or right expanding out. When it can reflect over the x-axis and reflection over the y-axis. Those are the things we're going to be looking at. Alright, vertex form. This is the form we will be using in all these different components tell us different things. A is going to tell us something, H is going to tell us something, and K is going to tell us something. This X and this Y are always going to be there. A, H, and K are going to tell us what transformations are being applied. Alright, so we're going to talk about A. Okay? So when A is greater than 1, and we should also put maybe A is less than or equal to a negative 1, there's going to be a vertical stretch, meaning the parabola is going to get skinnier and taller much quicker. When A is between 0 and 1, or we could also say between 0 and negative 1, so if it's just a fraction, it's going to make the quadratic wider. Okay. So that's kind of what A does. A is going to make it either stretch or widen out. It's going to change the general shape of it. A is also going to tell me if something is positive or negative. We've also already talked about this a little bit. So if A is a positive number, we have a smiley face here. It's going to be facing upwards if I continue on. Okay, where if A is a negative number, it's going to be facing down. Okay. Alright, H. H tells me my horizontal transformation, which means it's going to shift the entire graph left or right. The tricky part is the H value does the opposite. Okay, so we don't trust our X. So if I said X minus 3 squared, typically negative is in the left direction, but we never trust our X, so it is actually shifted to the right by 3 units. So H is horizontal, left, and right. Next I have my K. Okay, K is going to shift things up or down, and it does exactly what it says. So here, if you notice, it says K is minus 2. So each point is shifted down 1, 2 spots. 1, 2 spots. Let's see. 1, 2 spots. So everything is shifted down 2 spots. Alright, so let's just talk about this transformation. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check. I have my H and my A and I have an H. So it is going to, we're going to say vertical shrink by 1/4, or we could say compressed. And then my H, it says +4, we never trust. So I would say we never trust our X's. So I'm going to say shift to the left by 4. Alright, let's look here. I have an A, I have a K. So my negative is going to reflect across my x-axis. Okay, it's going to open downwards. It's going to be a vertical stretch. That 3 is going to make it skinnier. And then we have a shift up by 4. That's what my K does. Alright, let's look at this next one. I have an H and I have a K. So my H is going to shift. It says -5. I want to go left, but I never trust my X. So I go to the right by 5. And then my K value -3 is going to be a shift downward by 3. Okay, so I have an A, I have an H, and I have a K. Okay, I have a shift. Well, let's go back a little bit. We do have shifts, but let's start with A. So I know A, if it's negative, is reflect across my x-axis. The 4 is going to be a vertical stretch 4. My H, so +2, that means I'm going to go shift to the left 2, and K is -3, so that means I'm going to shift down by 3. Okay, that's all transformations is. A, H, and K, if you can remember that. Let's go over a few things. A is either going to do a stretch. I like to say compress. It makes more sense in my mind. Squeezing something down. A can also reflect across X. Makes it up, goes upside down, negative. I have my H, which is going to shift left or right. And I have a K, which is going to shift it up or down. Okay, if you have any questions about transformations, please come and talk to me. Thanks.